All right, ladies. What time is it?
Ask
Yo
Your
Aunteas.
I don't know why we did that very gay.
I don't know. Sometimes it's just in our spirit.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Oh, who got it? You got
You
it.
have to be
Come on.
watching it on YouTube to
That part. Please, exactly.
all-
Continue to subscribe. Like all the people that be listening to the episodes, thank you for downloading the podcast episodes, but also subscribe on YouTube so we can get to that 1,000 number, and it allows us to do a little more on YouTube once we get to that number. So anyway, who got the question?
Hey, aunties, I have a sister in her 40s who's still saying things like she doesn't like, saying things that she doesn't like are quote unquote gay. I have tried and tried to stop her from saying it. Every time she says it, I become more traumatized. What should I do?
Smack her in the throat.
Look, choose violence. That's my answer. Choose violence.
Yeah, you know, I feel like that gay thing is like, it was so ingrained in culture for the longest that a lot of people didn't even realize they were saying it and don't even realize why they're saying it, you know? That's not like an excuse at all, but it's like, it might be simply one of those things where like she's said it for so long, right, wrong, or indifferent, that she might not even realize she's really saying it, despite you saying, oh, I've tried to get her to stop. I don't know how you're trying to get her to stop and what conversations you've had. But I think it's just literally one of those moments, maybe explaining, instead of just saying, oh, gay is bad, da-da-da-da, don't say that. Be like, here's why, and here's how it's affecting me, and here's how it's literally traumatizing me, because I've been in situations when people call me gay, and it was coming in a vicious manner, XYZ, XYZ. So maybe try that approach, but if she continues to do it, then she's just being ignorant, doesn't give a fuck about family and friends and all this stuff, what she's saying. And at that point, you gotta pick and choose what you want to associate with her, quite frankly. So
Yeah.
especially being in your 40s, she know better.
You know, I have two answers. The first answer is, you know, be petty in return. You know, like start saying something that makes her ass uncomfortable.
Call her Karen.
And literally say every time she say gay, then you say that word, or find out a way just to get on her damn nerves. Like, because if you've tried and she's not caring enough to make that change for you, then at that point you can either choose violence, which that's my first one, or you can choose growth, and you can figure out why in this question you said traumatized again, and figure out your trauma, so that way that word never triggers you anymore. So I feel like that's the responsible, mature, you know, thing to say, is like, if the word gay is traumatizing, I mean, honey,
right?
honey, I got some questions. Trauma. Yeah, because there's a lot of shit that says the word gay on it. So I think you need to figure out why, you know, the word gay, maybe it's just from your sister saying it or a particular type of person saying it, why it's traumatizing, and figure that out. And take the power back into it. You know, we talked about before on the podcast about, you know, taking our power back in certain words. And I feel like things like that, you know, like, oh, that's gay. Like, now today, I don't feel like it means the same thing that I remember it saying when I was a kid, if that makes sense. Same thing with faggot. Like, I just feel like those words don't hit like they used to in the 90s, you know, early 2000s growing up as a kid.
And it may be because you're more secure in yourself as well. Like,
yeah,
I feel like some of these names that people say and call out trying to get under my skin and things like that, I'm like, that don't say nothing about me. That's all about you, boo-boo. Like, because I'm cool with myself. I know what I bring to this situation and whatever, you know? So it's like, call me what you want. You're not going to say it too many times, but call me what you want.
Right.
Call me what you want.
Right.
Because at least at the end of the day, I know what I contribute to society as a whole, and I know I'm not this negative thing that you're saying towards me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
still trying to I'm trying to figure out the like double and triple reads that he's doing on his sister. First of all, he called her age out, like in her 40s, right? And like at first I thought maybe he was a brother, she's a sister, but they're of similar age. That's where I naturally went. And then I was like, wait a minute, what if he's like 20 years old? So then that was the shade by saying she's much older than him, but and then this whole notion of saying that that's the phrase that she uses. Like, who's calling stuff gay nowadays?
40-year-olds? Like, no, just fair.
But I mean, I can't imagine.
And the Black community is still very, and I'm assuming that this person is Black because I know a lot of people in our community that like, oh, that's just gay. No, we ain't doing that. That's that gay shit, you know. So I know in our community people talk like that quite often and still use it. It's part of that toxic masculinity within our culture.
Yeah,
I think at the end of the day, I agree with both of you all. Like this notion that something that she's saying is traumatizing to him. One, you might need to unpack that just to understand, what does that mean?
Maybe she a female Boosie.
Damn.
Could be.
You're right.
Could be.
And you know what? That just made me think of that too, like how you just saying in our community, because we just saw earlier this year the Black families shave the word gay into their kids' head here in Atlanta. Yeah. So clearly there's still some weight behind that terminology and the toxicness behind it still that people are kind of putting on to others.
I guess it does, like it's easy to fall into your privilege of being somebody who is openly out and have a sense of, a lot of obviously self-worth and security and all of those things. It's easy to forget about the
stuff.
Because literally in my head, I'm thinking, why is this an issue for anybody in today? Like, why is that an issue? But then I had to go back and I'm like, well, if I'm secure, I'm, and that's not my lived in experience. So it's like, okay, that's where the empathy comes in.
Mm-hmm. And we're also in a place too where, well, I'll speak for myself. If that's my family, I'm gonna be like, you out, done. I don't have to see you ever again. Like I'm into a place where like I'm very cautious about the people I keep around me and the energy that's around my peace. Because if you are hurting my peace, if my peace feels endangered around you, you are an obstacle that needs to be removed from my life.
He's like Predator or something. He's like Terminator.
But like at the end of the day, though, you have to protect your peace, know, and you don't owe anybody anything on this planet. So the notion of, and again, something in our community too that we do is like blood is thicker than water, or like, you always have to ride all the way through. Some family members are the ones you have to let go because they are the anchor that will pull you down to the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah. And clearly she must have, if you've tried and you've done it in various ways, not just like in a confrontational way, because sometimes confrontation just brings out more confrontation. Clearly there's some trauma that she's dealing with as well, of something that like hurt people. And so she knows it's getting underneath your skin. So she's going to continue to do it because she hasn't dealt with something either in you all's relationship or the family dynamic, whatever it may be, that she's continuing to do this because she knows she could get away with it and it's hurting somebody. So I'm with Jerrell. It's just like, if that's the case and that's what you're feeling, you might have to cut her off until she deals with herself. And it's okay to do so, because at the end of the day, you ain't got one life, and if you don't want to be around trauma, it's like ain't nobody got time for trauma shit no more.
No, and it doesn't have to mean forever. This could just be a thing for now until things get better. That you just have to step away, and just have to choose yourself, and it's okay. It's not selfish choosing yourself, like especially when it comes to healing and doing what's right by you, like. You should never feel bad for doing that at all whatsoever. And it's the holiday season. A lot of people have not gotten to get together with their families, because last year during this time, it was, suggested that you be by yourself. So for anybody out there that's listening and you about to be around family this holiday season, that peace that you found being by yourself this last year, make sure that you're not sacrificing that just because you want to be around your family. Like you learn some things about yourself in that isolation, and you make sure you carry it. Don't forget what you went through.
That's a whole word.
That is a word. So
Um,
so be safe out there, especially during this holiday season, like he just said, and continue to send your Ask Yo Aunteas to us, aya@minorityareport.com, or DM us. And obviously, we know there's some family dynamics coming up right now. So if there's one that you need some advice on, some opinion on, let us know. If you have just even like Ask Yo Aunteas, like not even like relationships, or just like, hey, like I'm going for a new job. Do you have some advice on that? Like Dawon's career is literally in HR. Like shoot those over. Like we could provide, obviously, he's not going to give you all the professional advice because you got to do that yourself, but you could give insight into like what corporations are thinking. If you need advice on, I don't know, like I'm just trying to think of random questions. It doesn't always have to be something so deep either. Like it could be something lighthearted, whatever. It's like, does this make my butt look fat? Yeah, boo, it look good. Hey. But so continue to send those in.